Some of you are so afraid of being alone that you're willing to betray your soul just to keep familiar people around. Why? Because you've been programmed to believe if you're single, you must be unwanted. If you don't have kids, you'll die alone. If no one shows up to your funeral, your life meant nothing. If you walk alone, people will whisper, judge, or pity you. But none of that is truth. That's emotional programming passed down like a curse. If you're in alignment, you are never unprotected. Your intuition will nudge you to leave a place before anything pops off. It'll tell you not to get in that car, not to trust that smile, not to go on that trip. Your discernment will let you feel when someone has a hidden agenda before they say a word. You'll feel drained around the wrong people, alert around the right ones. Your spirit team will reroute you, delay you, or even isolate you to keep you from harm. That random feeling to stay home, that was protection. When you're in alignment, being alone isn't unsafe. It's when you're most shielded. You don't need a partner to survive. You need clarity, awareness, and the ability to listen when your soul speaks. So who benefits from your fear of solitude? The system, which needs you emotionally dependent. The church, once a tool for communion, later became a system of control. When mystics and seekers began accessing God in solitude, the church saw a threat. Because if you can hear the divine on your own, you no longer need a priest. You no longer fear hell. You stop paying for redemption. So they reframed solitude as rebellion, taught that isolation was dangerous, that being alone made you vulnerable to the devil, that truth must only come through them. Why? Because a soul who sits with silence too long becomes sovereign, and sovereign souls don't kneel to systems. The ego, which still craves applause. The entities who feed on anxious attachment. Because when you're afraid to be alone, you're easier to manipulate. You'll stay in toxic friendships, cling to partners who drain you, ignore red flags just to feel connected. Why? Because the fear of being alone keeps you in low vibration, and in that state, you're food. Energetic parasites thrive on your loops, especially the ones wrapped in love and guilt. So they whisper, don't leave. You'll die alone. No one else will want you. Not because it's true, but because your freedom would starve them. The old roles, they want you obedient, distracted, and small. They were never designed for your freedom. They were designed to keep you in line. Wife, daughter, breadwinner, caretaker, roles that sound honorable, but often came with unspoken rules. They kept you busy performing, so you'd never pause long enough to remember who you are. And every time you tried to step out, you were hit with guilt, shame, or fear of being judged. So ask yourself, why are you really afraid of being alone? And whose voice is that whispering fear into your quiet moments? Because once you finally get still enough to question it, you realize you were never alone to begin with. And that's when you stop choosing proximity over peace.